101. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning, everybody. And as you can see, I'm coming to you from my car this morning because it's a full and rich day we have today.
Absolutely amazing. I hear the birds here, and so it's also going to be a fabulous, interesting day. I feel it in my fingers. Yay.
I feel it in my toes, Nadine.
Exactly.
All right.
Cool.
So as you were
Yes.
just saying, we're on page 101 of the book. You too can be prosperous. Okay. So it's when we live in consciousness.
In the parable of
In the
the
parable
sheep.
of the sheep, I thought so. In the parable of the sheep and the goats, you remember that the shepherd set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. The kingdom of heaven, Jesus said on another occasion, is like unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered of every kind, which, when it was filled, they drew up on the beach, and they sat down and gathered the good into the vessels, but the bad they cast away. Isn't that a beautiful parable? You just got to think about it and think, how does that relate to our everyday life? How does that relate to our thoughts? Cast away the
Exactly.
bad. Stop programming your mind into negativity.
And the thing is, once you know in your heart, it's true. When you know it, it's true. The question is, what are you going to do with this thought?
Correct.
And when you hold prosperity in your mind, that's all it takes. Okay? But when we read on, he explains this in a very beautiful way. So all
So these
ears.
parables compel a man to choose between the greater and the lesser. Until his decision is made, there will be no judgment, and conditions
And
will
let's
remain
stress
unchanged.
here the word choose and decision. The judgment comes later, and the judgment is just one perception of yourself or others on that decision, on that choice. But always keep in mind that the choice is yours.
Until his decision is made, there is no judgment, and conditions will remain unchanged. I had to repeat that. If you read these parables metaphysically, you will see that Jesus is talking about man's mind and his thought. He is compelling the individual to choose between the good, the life-giving thought, and the bad, the death-dealing thought. The realm of mind is like a net, whereby the rich thoughts and the poor thoughts are brought to judgment and separated. The net is the mind. The fishes are the man's thoughts. The vessel is man's consciousness. And the sea is one substance in which they all function. Wow, that is worth reading over and over again, just to remind yourself how to look out for those little things,
Absolutely. Wow. And yesterday we had a quick conversation about the 10 Commandments, about thou shalt not kill. I mean, there was so many things going on in the name of the churches or the gods or but it's written so clearly there and as a guiding light for everyone. So what have those people been thinking, or what are they still thinking?
Exactly.
And that's the same thing, because I don't want to be judgmental of others. So let's see about myself. When I know what is good, am I really taking the decision to pursue it, or am I holding back by fear? And that I admit I am, because life is a journey, and I just reflected on a super manifestation where I said no, and I said maybe I should have taken it. But then there were all those thoughts, and that's exactly the thing. There is always all those thoughts, that's not going to change. The question is now, what are you learning, and are you calibrating, learning from these experiences to make the right decision and choice?
True. So the divided mind catches every kind of thought. It is each man's responsibility to separate the good from the bad, the rich from the poor. In the modern radio, we find an apt comparison. What the listener hears depends upon his ability to tune out what he does not want to hear. The
Mm-hmm.
divided mind, as we said, catches every kind of thought. The single mind tunes out the bad thoughts, lest the good thoughts lose their volume or be lost in din. Such is the judgment which is the clamorous horde of man's thoughts must face.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yes.
Right. Do you think we carry on, Nadine? Or we leave it there? Because that's a lot to process.
Yes. So let's take as a homework to really reflect about what are the thoughts, and to sort them, to how did he put it, to sort the good from the bad, and then let's pay attention to sort them from the good from the bad. It can be in one instance a thought can be good, and in another instance the same thought can be bad, right? So it's situational, and don't be judgmental of yourself, but just of the thoughts, okay?
Right. Yeah.
That I am this and I am that, other than prosperity, of course. But everything else that lead up to that being or consciousness of prosperity, now let's do some housekeeping about what kind of thoughts take me there.
Correct. That is so beautiful. Thank you, Nadine.
Yes. Good. So I'm looking forward next week to continue to read Utopic Prosperous.
Yep.
Because you can. And meanwhile, be prosperous. And if you want to have any assistance or help with that, reach out to Jackie or myself. We teach this. And so there is nothing greater than just to be in this state of prosperity all the time. And there is nothing we desire more than to open this thought school and consciousness up to everyone who is seeking it.
Absolutely. And remember my saying from last week, I expand in abundance, love, and success every single day, and I inspire people around me to do the same. There
Absolutely.
we go.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, everyone. Looking forward to you next week here again.
Bye.